Continue from the previous lesson, or load the file Chapter 18 Office Suite Render 05.max. Now we need to get the sample values from the light meter so we can use an image of it in a presentation. First, we're going to need to adjust the minimum and maximum range settings to match those of the light meter helper. Then, we're going to capture the viewport to show the light meter helper values that reflect the calculated daylight factor. In the Camera 1 viewport, select the Light Meter Helper 01 object. Click over to the Modify tab. In the Display Parameters rollout, make sure the Daylight Factor option is selected. Right now the entire light meter is blue. Looking at the values on the light meter, they range from a minimum of about 2.9 to a maximum of about 13.6. In order to change the values, click the Pseudo Color Edit option in the display rollout. That opens the Lighting Analysis Assistant. In the Analysis Color Coding rollout, set the minimum value to 0.02. Since the maximum percentage is 13.6, set the maximum value to 0.14, which would be 14%. Remember, we're not dealing with lux, we're dealing with percent. 0 to 1 in mental ray is the equivalent to 0 to 100%, so 0.14 becomes 14%. Notice in the viewport we have a nice gradation of color from red all the way to blue. Close the Lighting Analysis Assistant. Now let's capture the Camera 01 viewport. We can capture any viewport using one of the Grab Viewport options. In the Tools menu, click Grab Viewport, Create Still Image File. That will open the Grab Viewport dialog. Here we can name this viewport, so type Daylight Factor into the name type-in. Then click Grab. This captures the viewport and shows it in this dialog box. It also puts a little box down at the lower right with the name Daylight Factor. To save the file, click on Save Image in the top left of the image display dialog. For the file name, enter the name Daylight Factor Viewport.png and click Save. Since there is already an image with the same name, we're asked if we want to overwrite it. Go ahead and click Yes. It will bring up the PNG configuration options and we'll save it to an RGB 24-bit image with no alpha channel. Then click OK. We've saved that file down to our hard drive for later use. Now we can use it in a PowerPoint presentation or sit down and review it with other engineers or architects. Close the Capture dialog and save the file.